Alright, what if I told you that the real reason most realtors struggle with content isn't the algorithm, the market, or your experience? It's that they don't have systems for creating content that actually attract clients. Today, I'm going to be breaking down the exact 3 content blueprints that top agents are using to build authority, attract clients, and never run out of ideas, no matter how busy the market gets in 2025. If you want to stop guessing and start building a real brand that brings you deals, this is the video to watch right now. So as we can start, the way that I'm gonna run this video today shortly is that I'm simply gonna run through this quick bullet presentation of how to build this exact 3-step content blueprint. And then I'm gonna show you real case studies and use cases from real estate experts in the space that actually have done this themselves and show you exactly how to do this and implement this step by step. And yeah, let's dive right into it. So the first part is going to be the challenge and the solution. Let's be real. Most agents post random listings, generic market updates, or the occasional just sold and hoping that something is going to stick. But here's the truth. In 2025, the agents who win are going to be the ones who have a content system embedded in place. A repeatable process that's going to help build trust, position them as the go-to expert, and keep their pipeline full. Problem isn't that you're not working hard enough. It's just that you're not working smart enough within your own content, building your own personal brand, and being an authority figure within your market demographic. Like I said, solutions here are posting 5 to 7 times per week using the 3 pillars I'm about to talk to today. Next is building educational, entertaining, and promotional content. Create a scroll-stopping content that sparks conversation, and building a unique brand voice that attracts your ideal clients. And as you can see, these are the common problems that are mostly going on within today's, and that you're either sharing listings, constantly but getting no engagement, followers scroll past your content without stopping, where you sound like every other agent in your market, or you're posting whatever you remember, leading to a weak silence. So let's actually kind of go within these and kind of show you this exact 3 content pillar and it's sort of a balanced approach to building your real estate brand in 2025. So here's a blueprint that I use and you'll see other top creators use in every industry. Now, this blueprint is just not pretending within real estate. It's very versatile in how other industries and creators are using it as well too, in terms of creating this sort of 3 content pillar blueprint framework. First thing you have is the content, building trust and position you as the expert. Next you have is the attractor content, and just bringing new people into your world and growing your audience. Then next you have is the action content, which gets your audience to take the next steps. So things like having a call to action, or the CTA in this case, depending on whatever post that you're posting for this week. So let me actually go in and break down each one with real examples that you can use for this week. And as you can see, you can get a little bit of a gist in terms of what these bullet points kind of pertain in each of the 3 content pillars. So authority is mostly like a monthly market report. Home buying tips and guides and neighborhood deep dives. Attractors are more so kind of like behind the scene moments, funny client stories, local business spotlight, kind of really highlighting the behind the scenes behind your own life in and of itself, just to kind of get that personal effect to your personal brand. And that's really what drives a lot in terms of people really getting to know you as a person as well. Actions are, like I said, are CTAs, so new listing announcements, open housing, and free consultation offers as well too. So now let me actually go into this strategic mind map to kind of show you exactly what's going on. Number 1 we have is the authority content. So for in this case example, I'm gonna use a person that we all know in the industry is Ryan Serhan. So what it is content that demonstrates your expertise, solves real problems, and answers the questions that your ideal clients are already asking. So an example you can use is how to price your home in a shifting market 2025 update. The 3 biggest mistakes sellers make in this city or Las Vegas or man, whatever first time buyers need to know about interest rates right now. And why it works is that people want to work with agents who educate them, obviously, and you all know that. Not just the ones who are going to sell to them. That's what helps in terms of not only getting your prospects more educated, so it helps with the whole cycle of, the buying or the selling cycle a lot more easier because they're more educated, but it just gives you more an authority level and that you really know you're on top of these and that you really know what you're doing in the space. So how to create it? Simply, what you're going to do is you're going to list the top 10 questions you get from your clients mostly and turn those into content and use simple language with real data. So let me go through, explain all this, and then I'll show you all the 3 examples of realtors in the space that are doing this themselves and how you can emulate it and implement it into your own business today. Next is going to be the content ecosystem architect. And what is this? It's content that's designed to reach new people, spark curiosity, and get shared. So an example, the top 3 neighborhoods in New York City for young families, or what's $500,000 gets you in, let's say, Houston, Texas versus Oklahoma City. 5 things you didn't know about buying a home in 2025. How you go about creating this is simply use trends, comparisons, and did you know as far as the hooks. Make it visual with maps, before and after shots, and always end question. Now, the third one is going to be the action content. And as you can see with this content system is that it helps in terms of behind the scenes, client stories, local spotlights, and even the engagements that you get from industry standards. And as you can see some of the examples that we have been in place that you can go. And third one is the action content. What it is content that moves people from passive viewers to active leads. So examples that are going to convert are going to be like, well, my free 2025 home seller guide, DM me guide. You can have that within a, short Instagram video, like a reel, or a TikTok video as well too, and even YouTube shorts. Another one could be like, curious what your home is worth. Click the link in my bio. Ready to start your home search and book a call within this week. Have CTAs and call to actions that really engage people to really move forward with the step to book in, or either whether that's a lead magnet or actually book in a consultation call or something in that dynamic. How to create it is, in this case, is make your CTA clear and specific, use urgency, and make it easy to take action. Now, the next one, as we go about this, and these are examples that you can see, is going to be content ideation, which is very important in how you go about creating this process. So here's how to never run out of content ideas and how you can do the exact same thing. So keep running a list of every question and objection from your clients. Model what's working in other industries and adapt it to your own real estate business. So use problem solutions. Did you know? Type of frameworks, and batch your content planning once a week. This makes it a lot more easier to roll out content consistently, so you're not always posting this day or that day and creating this sort of inconsistent content system in place. So this system basically ensures that you're never scrambling for ideas and that you actually have a strategic and systematic approach to how you're going about creating content, using relevant sources, using industry trends that are going on, and using a sort of content pillar that you can keep shifting around to be able to spark new ideas and new concepts behind this. The cool part is I'm actually going to show you a cool tool that you can use that's going to help you with being able to do that. It's going to make content so much easier than even using ChatGPT in and of itself. Next we have is storytelling and personal branding. So the best content isn't just information, it's stories at the end of the day. People love hearing the story. So sharing your wins, share your losses, share your lessons, show your face, process, and your personality. People will like you for who you are at the end of the day. And people that don't, then they don't matter. It's as simple as that. People don't just want realtors, they want a guy that they can trust. Your brand is built on the story you tell and the value that you give, not just the homes that you sell at the end of the day. So that's pretty much it for that. Here's your action plan for this week. Like I said, list your top 10 client questions, create one authority, one attractor, and one action post for this week. So at least try to aim for 3 to 4 posts each week, depending on what content platform you want to use, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube. Set your content bank system, schedule weekly planning sessions so you can stay ahead and be able to build that consistency. It's all about starting small and letting the snowball effect really roll into your content system and how you go about building content. The key here is not to become viral or find a very good post that gets millions of views. It's to simply be able to create a sort of authority figure in the space where you might have to even post content that's going to get you a sort of amount of views, but as long as you're posting and you're staying consistent, and that's helping you slowly but surely build your brand and build that sort of authority and figure in the space, so to where when people click on your profile, they do see, all the content that you have in place in terms of the tips, the guides, and also just the personal storytelling in terms of your personal journey, which you're going through, along with connecting that to other channels of content, whether that's through YouTube or TikTok, and really sort of build a nice authority in the space to where people can really trust you and they really look at you as someone that really knows their stuff at the end of the day. Yeah, just share one personal story for the week. And like I said, at the end of the day, when you build this system consistently, you build authority in your market, you try to qualify leads consistently, never run out of content ideas, and you create a brand that brings you deals at the end of the day, which is what you want, because those are the prospects that are going to be most qualified and most nurtured because they like you for who you are as a person. And they already done all they needed based on the content that you're educating them to be ready when they're more likely to convert in terms of being uniform. Now, let me actually go ahead and show you the 3 examples of these top 3 realtors in the space, and how they're incorporating this in terms of their content pillars and the dynamics of this, and how you can use this specialized tool to be able to create this for yourself constantly and automatically as well. So let's go on to it and let's see it. All right, so this is literally the 3 creators I'm talking about in space. Let's first go through and check out Ryan Serhant. So this is a platform and the tool that I use every day in terms of creating my content system for my own business. A lot of other creators in the space use it as well too, but this is called Poppy AI. It's like ChatGPT with a Miro board, combined. And the best part is that they give you a whole bunch of different other LLMs that you can use. I just use Claude personally just because it's very great for copywriting, so you get a lot of good copy out of it. But this is how a lot of not only other top creators are using the space to create good viral content, but also being able to, I guess, take a lot of different content that they're seeing in the space in terms of the ideation process and seeing other people within their niche or different niches and how they can incorporate their content. So an example of this could be Ryan Sarhan. And let me first go through some of the pillars that he used and incorporates in his business that helps in terms of building his personal brand and how he has been able to maintain an authority space for years now. And then how you can also use this tool to be able to incorporate some of the topics that he has talked about in his posts to then use it for your own, content system and how you build out a script, so on and so forth. So let's first go through. I have a few of his Instagram profiles, as you can see in this case, and let's go through this one. So this one says breaking news, the Wall Street Journal that he's talking about. This is great, like I said, for just being able to just educate people on market data, market trends, things that are going on around the world, just educating his audience. This one right here, how to fix unhealthy mindset. This is really good for being able to talk to his audience in terms of mindfulness, spirituality, kind of educating them on that space. And he kind of ties in a little bit of his own personal journey throughout that process. As you can see, when I'm going through this, I'm talking about all the different sort of content pillars that he's using. So this one is like market awareness. He's letting his audience just know about the market trends and what's going on. This is really good for step-by-step tips, how to fix an unhealthy mindset. He also has his YouTube channel for long form content, which is really good for just nurturing long-term prospects and leads. He has a listing here that he's showing, but he also has like a day in the life of a CEO, which is really good to like see his personality behind what he does on a day-to-day basis. And that really gives his, his audience a good day in the life of what he kind of has to go through. And it's a nice like personal touch, and that builds a lot more trust and rapport when people really want to, work with him or, be his clientele. Even like the TikTok video that he has of him and his daughter, it's just super nice to see that, because then he's also posting a little bit of his personal side and his family, really showing his personality, how he's very family oriented, and posting this online builds a lot more trust and rapport and how he does it. So as you can see, he's using a lot of all the three content pillars that we have talked about in terms of authority in the space and, being able to educate his audience on what's going on, but then also giving hacks and tips and step-by-step guides. And then also being able to then be personal as well too, showing the day in the life and what's going on along with everything else that he's doing. So these are how you can kind of incorporate this in your content, and you can kind of get a good feel of how you can iterate this and do this as well too. Now, the cool part about using this tool is that you can actually take any video, as you can see from here. You can take a YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, or even Facebook ads. You can take this, and this chatbot right here is going to be able to extract all the details in this video, and you can be able to not copy it, but be able to create another iteration of it, but within your brand and your voice, and to be able to create other content ideas based off of what people are doing in the industry and trends right now. So an example of this too, you can even upload a folder section where you can add your own personal videos, even the way that you speak, the way that you talk, so that way the chatbot can get a good understanding of your voice and your brand. And then you can implement it. Say an example that you want to, you could even use the voice feature. Hey, can you create me another variation of this video on how to fix an unhealthy mindset that Rystar has made, but within my brand and my voice? So you can use the voice feature. And just like that, it's even asking questions just to make sure before it goes ahead and starts creating this post pattern. But what it's going to use, it's going to use the context and the formula that has worked for this post to be able to implement it in another variation of whatever post or script that you want to make for this video. So this is a super powerful tool that I highly recommend anyone to use in the space, especially if you're creating content. This is great to use because then you can already you can already take content that is already working in the space from these top authority figures like Ryan Sarhan or Tom Ferry. You can take what's already working and then use their formula to then create it for yourself into the content that you post. So it's super cool to see. Let's actually go in and show you the full breakdown. Let's just say my brand is focused on fitness development for personal brand. Be very professional in this case, and my target audience is young entrepreneurs. And the format, I want this to be in a video script that I'm going to make for an Instagram Shorts. So it then asks a couple follow-up questions. The best part too is you can also create presentations using this as well too, and a whole bunch of other things that this unique platform has been able to build using all these LLMs. So it's like instead of just using ChatGPT, you can use something like this to be able to now structure and create all your content for you, and having a content planner, having scripts, and having all the copywriting already done for that. Super helpful tool to use. So let's see. Yeah, Instagram Real Script 3. Let me see hook. As you can see, then here, let me zoom in on that. Ari has made all the scripts and already gave me the second count, which is perfect. So that's just a deep dive, a little bit of a just in terms of what this tool use. Now let me actually show you the next person that is doing it well in terms of building her personal brand and social growth, which is Christine. This is one of her Instagram posts on becoming her the real story behind the stage. Like I said, this is a great post for just being able to talk about just her as a person and her story and her brand in terms of, what she's been through, what she has to endure to become the way that she has became in today's world in a leading real estate industry that she is, as she is a real estate coach. So most of her content has like step-by-step guides, like 5 steps to post listing appointments. She has our real estate agents going to be extinct. This is good for just kind of market awareness and kind of getting everyone aware. Why I posted to get 14,000 views and 7 inbound leads, but organically, that's like a step-by-step approach. She's really being an authority figure and educating her audience in space, but also being able to tap in and provide that personal story and that storytelling appealed to who she is as a person and what makes her brand and having her authority figure. She also has long form content, great for nurturing. Highly recommend any realtor or any business owner to really also start incorporating YouTube. YouTube is king, as we all know. It takes long, but we can even see from some of her videos on YouTube that are long form that she doesn't even have that many views, like 402, 512, 226, compared to Ryan Serhan, who is completely different. But even though she doesn't have that many views, as long as she's still creating content and she's still staying consistent, she's still becoming an authority figure in the space, talking about the right things, educating her audience, and this is building her brand. So it's not all about getting views. It's just about being able to create consistent content and educational content and creating value in the market to be able to educate your audience on at the end of the day. That's all that really matters. Even for my own personal channel, I've gotten inbound leads. Even though my videos don't get a lot of views, people still hit me up just because I'm providing values. And that's all that matters. People just knowing you for who you are, and people like to work with people that they like. That helps in terms of your brand and getting prospects and people in your pipeline at the end of the day. So these are just some examples of her content as well too. And how, like I said, you can easily use this chatbot again to simply replicate the video that she's made, replicate the winning frameworks and formats that has worked for her, creating a great, sort of content structure or even just video that she made overall, and to be able to implement that within your own brand and storytelling. Last one we have, last but not least, the myth and the legend, Tom Ferry, as we all know. Great, just like I said, for educating his prospects as well too in the real estate space. I really do like this post that he has on Instagram. He says my 5 to 9 before 9 to 5. This is a great video just showing his morning routine, his gym routine, and this is good, like I said, for just being human at the end of the day, like we all are, and showing that behind the scenes and that, of what really goes on and what he really does, and a little bit into a tap into his personal life, so you can see who he is as a person, along with him also, like I said, having that market awareness and educating people in the space in terms of like saying, hey, Zillow debuted the only real estate app in ChatGPT. He's in podcasts where he's talking to other entrepreneurs and all giving value. The key hindsight about this is that it's all about just giving value to your audience at the end of the day in different frameworks and formats that are willing to work. That's really all it is at the end of the day, hitting home with that. How does home sales expected to rise? He has even one on TikTok as well too. So as you see, all these guys are on all platforms, all 3 main ones: YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. He's not getting that many views on YouTube. That's just still great for being an authority figure in space. It doesn't matter about the views. It just matters about if you're educating the right people that are going to want to talk to you at the end of the day. And last but not least, we can even go in and show you even a smaller realtor, and Jake, who is a Las Vegas native realtor. Great in terms of his content and what he's doing as well too, and educating his audience. I know that me and him, we spoke personally, and even for him, he said that he already has a local community dialed in, and just because he's been able to get so many referrals organically through his content, that his personal brand has helped him a lot too. So even filming simple videos just like this is like market updates. So he's like, Flamingos rises prices as Vegas faces 6 straight months of their decline. So he's educating people in the space in terms of the market and what's going on in the Las Vegas real estate space. This is really good. He's also having his also regular, listings as well too, providing that, and then having a little bit of personal storytelling in terms of, him also just introducing a new child to her, and so on and so forth. But this is just at the end of today, as long as you're consistently posting content and you're providing you to your audience and you're doing it in different and hit your audience, like that, I just all content distribution systems. Start with one and then transition. But yeah, at the end of the day, if you have found this video valuable and helpful to you, like I said, I'm gonna be posting literally every single week in terms of just anything going on in the real estate space, not only with AI, but also with personal branding, content creation, and the whole media buying side, and running ads as well too. And If all else, if you do want to see how we can also systemize your operations in your real estate business, feel free to click the link below to book a strategy call below, where we'll go in, we'll analyze your business and see what we can do and help you out in this case. Until then, thank you so much for your time. You can also check out the additional resources as well.